Welcome to the weather forecast for the week beginning Wednesday, December 22nd. We're coming in on the Christmas season right now. I am trying something new with lighting in the camera, and when I play this back and it looks bad, I just won't leave my image up this week. But, well, you got to experiment with things. So Sunday, December 26th, the day after Christmas, we have our last quarter moon rises on the previous day, setting at noon, just about. For drought, yep, things are getting a little worse. You could tell it's dry and dusty and nothing is falling from the sky. So going from a couple weeks ago to now, I skipped last week kind of, there's our increasing droughts. We're at extreme drought now along I-25 from about Fort Collins down below Denver and out on the plains. Nationally, drought conditions are getting a little worse in the Texas region as well. This is one of our moisture sources is coming from the Gulf, and if the in-between land is very dry, part of the contribution that keeps the atmosphere moistened is the evapotranspiration. It's the moisture coming out of the soil, out of plants especially, and if these are all dry, then it's going to be harder to get moisture up here. There is a conveyor belt of moisture coming in from the Pacific, but it doesn't make it over this last range of mountains, as you'll see. And this last week, we did have our super windstorm, and we had a little bit of precipitation that made it down on the plains. Saw sleet for about 45 minutes or a half hour that morning. The mountains are getting a good amount of moisture still, and that trend is what's going to continue for 10 days and beyond. So for Wednesday, we have this big cold front passing out in the plains. There's a good low pressure system up on the Great Lakes and another system coming in on the west coast, but we're just high and dry. There's also a bunch of stuff happening down in the southeast, the edges of the nation. And just to show you how crazy this is, no thunderstorms are forecasted nationwide on Tuesday. That's not severe weather, that's no thunderstorms. All right, going to next Wednesday is the next time we get something, and that's a bit of a trough here in the west and a little cold air coming down on the plains, but it just isn't much. So the next 10 days, we do have a system that's moving into the mountains, and it'll give some good snow Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. A lot of the mountain communities are going to have a white Christmas. It's great. You can see that also marks the beginning of a cool down, but the high and low temperatures are bouncing up and down around the normal high temperature. Our normal lows are almost as high as our normal high. It's not until after Christmas that we get down into that normal range, but no really cold air is coming in the near future. So some blow over, precipitation might make it out on the plains, but with temperatures this warm, I don't expect snow. So let's take a look at the next 10 days. Keep an eye on this giant ridge, and that's just the story. It's ridge. Here comes a system in on Christmas Day. That's what will give us the western slopes and high mountain snows. There's a tiny chance of precipitation on Sunday, but the mountains won't get another shot. And then our system out Wednesday or so is here. But again, it doesn't get places east of the foothills. So taking a look at this abnormal heat, the red temperatures are above normal, the blues and purples are below normal. That takes out effects of altitude and things like that. Just lets you see what normal is. And here comes the cold front for Saturday. You can see it just stays off to our east, and we stay in this bubble of warm right here. Extreme heat in Texas and Oklahoma. Look at that. The little front comes down for Tuesday, kind of pushing into the west, filtering down on the eastern side of the mountains, and then it kind of goes away pretty quickly. For precipitation, don't need to go much beyond Sunday for this, but see high pressure is in effect. Here's Christmas Eve, Christmas morning, lots of stuff in the western half of the state, and then it's gone. And another system for Sunday, and snow in the mountains. That's where we get a lot of our water for agriculture, so it's really good. There's our Tuesday, Wednesday system again on the western side of the mountains. So precipitation reflects this. 1.5 inch amounts, 2 inches of liquid in the high mountains. And then going the next 10 days, you see stuff topping 3 to 4 inches of liquid. That's great. For snow, 14 feet maximum, 14 inch maximums, 18 inches, 8 inches down near Durango, and then a couple feet of snow build up over the next 10 days in the higher elevations. Right along I-25, really nothing at all. So, going into Christmas, we're way above normal temperatures. Nighttime temperatures far above freezing. We just touched freezing Saturday, and then we finally go back to the 20s, still above normal for the beginning of next week. Very tiny chances of precipitation in case stuff blows over. These will be the kind of situation where you see clouds across the mountains making the Rockies look taller than they are, and maybe some clouds will make it out here and drop a little precipitation. Your Christmas Day forecast then is a high of 57, a low of 32, west winds around 5 miles per hour. I might modify that. It could get kind of gusty. If the clouds do get off the mountains and there is a little chance of a shower, we could see some strong gusts kind of surprise you. What's interesting is that this high and low and wind and sky condition forecast is exactly the one I gave for Thanksgiving. I copied that slide over, put a new background, and then looked at the numbers. It's the same. That's crazy. So for more frequent weather updates, check out my article at the Longmont Leader and Longmont News as well. One more footnote, we do have our snowpack at about 75%, and these upcoming hits of snow might get us up close to the 85-90% of snowpack for the mountains, so that is good news for the hydrology in the state. I thought I had a graphic for there, but it didn't show up. So this has been your weather forecast for the week beginning Wednesday, December 22nd. I'm Chief Meteorologist John Ensworth. Keep looking up.